Jai Hind students, this is your computer class. So be attentive. Tomorrow you have your unit test of computer. So today we will do the revision of the chapters that are coming in the unit test. Two chapters are coming. Chapter 1 Computer Architecture and Chapter 2 Algorithm and Flowchart. So today class we will do revision. I had already explained these chapters, so we will revise important point in MCQ pattern. Okay, and after this class I am going to share you one question bank for these two chapters. So read that question bank carefully. That is MCQ based on MCQ pattern. Okay, now let's start our class. We have chapter 1 Computer Architecture and chapter 2 Algorithm and Flowchart. This is the syllabus of UT2 computer test. Now chapter 1 Computer Architecture. What is written? Computer is an electronic device which stores and manipulates data at very high speed and great accuracy. You should remember this definition because question can be framed like this. Computer is which type of device? Electronic device or mechanical device? Computer is an electronic device. Okay. It takes input from the user and process it and provide output to the user with high speed, matlab in few seconds, and great accuracy without error. Okay. Now when we talk about working of computer, CPU is the brain of the computer because it controls all the work of the computer. It is the command center of the computer. Okay, the question can be framed, brain of the computer is CPU, central processing. Either it has been asked CPU or central processing unit. You should know both the things. Okay, central processing unit, in short we call CPU. Okay, so CPU is the brain of the computer. Now CPU is divided into three parts, so we can say CPU has three parts: memory unit, control unit and arithmetic logic unit. Memory unit को in short we call MU, control unit को CU and arithmetic logic unit ALU. The CPU has three parts: memory unit, control unit and arithmetic logic unit. You have to learn these name. Now memory unit is just the storing device of a computer where we can store our data before processing and after processing and before sending to the output device. Okay, memory unit वो जगह है जहाँ पे हम डेटा को स्टोर करते हैं. कब? when we are inserting data inside the computer using input device. तो पहले वो कहाँ स्टोर होता है? inside the memory. Then it will go to for processing and after processing it is stored to the memory unit, then sent to the output unit. Okay. Now next is control unit. As name shows, control unit controls all parts of the computer. Okay, it controls how data moves and which type of instruction, where you have to send the data in ALU, memory, or you have to take my computer will take it from input unit and show it to output. All these controlling is done by the control unit. Control unit actually it is the brain inside the brain. Okay, CPU is the brain of the computer and inside CPU there is a control unit and control unit controls all parts of the computer. Okay, next is arithmetic logic unit. In short we call it ALU. ALU perform all the arithmetic and logical operations. Okay, arithmetic operations क्या होते हैं? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. तो all these operations are done inside the ALU. So now the question can be framed, which part of the computer will do the arithmetic and logical unit? Maybe you have given many options like ALU, CU or MU. The answer will be ALU. ALU perform all the logical arithmetic and logical operation inside the computer. Now next is computer architecture. Computer architecture means the overall design of a computer. See, it is showing overall design of a computer and how its part work. This is also important definition, you have to learn it, because it can be asked. Computer architecture means overall design of a computer. Okay, now this is the whole input output cycle. Computer takes data from the user, process it and produce output. In between जहाँ ज़रूरत होती है it use memory unit or storage to store the data. Okay, in this way the computer work. So for to input data we need input device, to output show the information we need output devices, and for storage we also need some storage devices. So now we have input unit. So device that enter data inside the computer are called input devices. Computer take input from the input devices in the form of text, images, audio, video. So computer we have to insert different type of input. So we have different type of input devices. Keyboard can enter text, webcam can enter pic or video, scanner can enter scanned copy of any picture, microphone is used to enter audio, joysticks is used to input instructions. So these are the different input device that will provide input in different ways. Now question can be like this: scanner is an input device or output device? It is an input device. Okay, so keyboard is an input device or output device? Keyboard is a input device. So you have to list and learn this input device. Okay, now keyboard enter which type of input? As text. If we need text to enter, we have keyboard. There are alphabets and numbers are there on the keyboard, and some special characters are also there. Now if we want to input as picture, we have a scanner and webcam. These two are input devices. Now if we want to input voice, we have microphone. Microphone is also the input device. Now we have system unit. Look at the picture. The most important working parts of the computer are inside the system unit, like CPU, motherboard, fan, memory. All these are inside this box, system unit. And also all input output devices are attached to the system unit. The question can be framed: all input output devices are attached to the? Answer will be system unit. In the same way, where CPU is inside the computer, the CPU is inside the system unit. Okay. Now next is storage unit. So storage unit is a hardware device used to store data. We have two type of storage devices: primary storage and secondary storage. Primary storage is RAM. Primary storage is RAM. It stores working data. Okay, जिस पे आप काम कर रहे होते हैं, after input or before output, the data should be inside the RAM. Okay. Now secondary storage is the extension. It stores data permanently and it can store large amount of data. So what we have: pen drive, hard disk, card reader, iPod. All these are secondary storage devices. They can store data permanently. Now the question can be like this: which type of storage device can store data permanently? Answer is secondary storage device. Or in another way it can be asked that hard disk is which type of storage device? primary storage device or secondary storage device? The answer is secondary storage device. In the same way, it can be asked, RAM is which type of storage device? Secondary storage device or primary storage device? The RAM is primary storage device. Okay, you have to list the secondary storage device and learn it. Now we have output unit. The devices which show the output to the user are called output devices. So we have different type of output. So we have different type of output devices. Monitor will show each and everything. Printer will show the printed copy. For audio we have speakers and headphones. So we have different output devices. Just see monitor. Monitor is output device because all the processed information are on monitor and we can see it. Now printer is an output device because printer will produce the printed copy of any document. Okay, printer is a output device. It produces printed copy of any document. It can be black and white or colored depending upon the printers. Sorry. Now after printer we have speaker and headphones. These two are also output device. When you want to listen audio, you need headphone and speaker. Okay, when you don't want to disturb others, you can use headphone and speakers for all. These two are output devices. Okay, now that's all for chapter 1. Now we have chapter 2, algorithm and flowchart. Now the first topic is problem solving. What is problem solving? The development of proper procedure is called problem solving. In computer, what we are doing? We are solving a problem. We are giving input and computer is processing it and provide the output. So what we are doing? We are solving a problem. हमें कुछ चाहिए जो हम डिमांड कर रहे हैं और हमें मिल रहा है. तो how to solve that problem? That is problem solving. And development of proper procedure is called problem solving. Now we have algorithm. Algorithm is nothing but the step by step instructions to solve a problem. Okay, it is written in simple English. It is very useful in solving problems and easy to understand. कोई भी work आप अपने around देख लो. How to make a tea, how to go to school, or how to take a bath, how to polish your shoes, how to wash your hands. हर चीज़ step wise होती है ना. तो किसी भी काम को करने के लिए जो steps हम follow करते हैं, when we list out that steps, it is called algorithm. Okay, means what we are इसको suppose करो कि to washing hand is a problem. तो how to solve that problem? तो you have to write step by steps. कैसे करना है? तो that steps are called algorithm. Okay, algorithm is the step by step process of solving any problem in simple English. Algorithm are very useful in solving problems and are easy to understand, implement and modify. Now some examples of algorithm. First example is how to prepare a tea. तो first step, take a, इसको ध्यान से समझना. These are the simple steps that you generally follow in your kitchen. Take a cup of water in a pan, turn on the gas. Step 1. Now step 2, crush ginger and put it in the pan if you want to make a ginger tea. And step 3, add sugar and tea powder into it. Let it boil for 3 minutes. Next step, pour a cup of milk into it. Let it boil for 2 minutes. Filter all the solids and enjoy the tea. This is the whole process to make a tea. And these are the simple steps that are written in English, simple English. So this is called algorithm to prepare a tea. Now we have some rules for writing algorithm. Algorithm must begin with the word start, okay, and must end with the word stop. Algorithm हमेशा start से start होगा और stop से end होगा. And in between all the statements are written as step 1, step 2, step 3 and so on. Also the statements are clearly written and in separate line, and steps should be क्लियर एंड प्रिसाइज. कोई एक्स्ट्रा बात नहीं, जितनी जरूरत है बस उतना लिखना. जैसे आपने इस एग्जाम्पल में देखा, टेक दिस, डू दिस इन द सेम वे. द स्टेप शुड बी क्लियर एंड प्रिसाइज. एक बार फिर से रिवाइज करते हैं. व्हाट आर द रूल्स? इट ऑलवेज स्टार्ट विद द वर्ड स्टार्ट एंड एंड विद द वर्ड स्टॉप. इन बिटवीन ऑल स्टेटमेंट्स आर step 1, step 2, step 3, and statement should be clear in separate line and precise. Okay, these are the rules that you should follow while writing a algorithm. Now see, algorithm to start prepare a coffee. First step is start, and then rest steps are, all the steps are written in which manner? Step 1, step 2 and in precise way. First you start, then take a cup of milk in a pan and turn on the gas, okay, and then add half cup of water into it, and then third step, add sugar powder into it and boil it for 3 minutes. Then add coffee powder, and then say next step, enjoy the coffee, and last is stop. So algorithm start with start word and end with stop. All the rules are followed here. You have to write the algorithm in the same way. Now algorithm to add 3 numbers. Similarly, step 1 is start, and then step 2 is take 3 numbers, step 3 is add 3 numbers, step 4 print the result, step 5 stop. Just have a look on this. Okay, now what are the advantages of algorithm? It is easy to understand, implement and modify, independent of computer language, and easily converted into the flowchart. It is easy because it is written in simple English, and as it is written in simple English, so it is independent of any computer language. किसी computer language में लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है, simple English में. And as it is easy and it is easily converted into the flowchart. Flowchart is nothing but the pictorial representation of algorithm. Okay. Now we have flowchart. Flowchart is what? Flowchart is the pictorial representation of algorithm. Okay. Means एल्गोरिथम में जो कुछ भी लिखा है वो सिंपली हम पिक्चर्स के फॉर्म में रिप्रेजेंट कर देंगे. देन इट इज कॉल्ड फ्लो चार्ट. And if there is a picture, so there should be some symbol. The flow chart is done with the help of symbols. These are the geometrical figures that resemble a particular process. Means जो भी हमने symbols लिए हैं, that symbols resemble a particular process, and using these symbols we draw a flow chart for any problem or computer program. Okay, now see, while drawing a flow chart we should follow certain rules. पहले rules देख लेते हैं. Okay, I will tell you these rules. First, see symbols. Now for starting and ending a flow chart, the symbols that we should use are start and stop box. Oval shape represent start and stop box, and parallelogram is used for input and output box, and rectangle is processing box, and arrowheads are flow lines. Now what are the rules? That start and stop box should be used once only. Okay, and input output box is used for input and output process. Okay, and any processing is done inside the rectangle box, and flow lines show the flow of program. Now see, these are the all symbols that we are using in drawing flowchart, and there are two different names. Don't mix it. One is its geometrical name or mathematical name. This is oval shape, but its name is its symbol name is start and stop. This is rectangle, but name of this symbol is process box. This is parallelogram, but name of that symbol is input output box. This is diamond shaped box or rhombus, but it is called decision box. And these are the flow lines, and this is connector. Now see, in flowchart, when symbol is given and asked what is its name, so you have to write its symbol name, not its geometrical name. This is the oval shape. Its symbol name is start and stop. What it do? It indicates start or end of a program or a algorithm. Got it? Start and stop box show the start or end of a program. Okay. Now next is rectangle. Rectangle symbol name is process box. So rectangle is used for any type of internal operation. Okay, like data transformation and movement. Next is input output box, that is parallelogram. Parallelogram is input output box. It show the input or output. For showing input and output, we use parallelogram or input output box. Now we have diamond shaped box. It shows evolution of any condition. Okay, so this is the decision box. Next is arrowheads. Arrowheads show the flow lines. Okay, कि प्रोग्राम किस डायरेक्शन में फ्लो कर रहा है, ऊपर से नीचे या लेफ्ट टू राइट. ओके, एंड लास्ट इज कनेक्टर. A circle with this arrowhead. This is used when we want to connect the flowchart. जब एक पेज में flowchart पूरा नहीं होता तो we will draw it another page and we use this connector to connect that flowchart. Okay. Now we have the rules for drawing flowchart. What are these rules? The direction of flowchart is either from top to bottom or left to right. Okay. Means we cannot draw the flowchart from bottom to top or right to left. It's either from top to bottom or left to right. There should be one start box and one stop box. Okay, and the arrowhead indicates the flow of data, or connector is used to connect break in the flowchart. Okay, now let's take some example of polish. First is polishing shoes. This is the algorithm to polish a shoes. What we do? First we start the algorithm with the word start, and then second step, pick up the shoe polish. Third, open the cap. Next step, pick up your shoes, then polish your shoes, close the cap, put the shoe polish back in the place and stop. These are the steps of algorithm. Now you have to draw the flow chart for this algorithm. It is here. For start and stop we have oval shape box. Okay, start and stop box. This is oval shape box. And now for all processing we have rectangle. See, we have rectangle for all processing. Here we are not taking any input now. So we for all processing we have rectangle. So all the steps should be written in rectangle. Pick up the shoes, then open the cap, pick up your shoes, polish your shoes, close the cap, put the shoe polish back in the place. And arrowhead is showing flow from top to bottom. This is the flow chart for polishing a shoes. Next is flow chart to add two numbers. Now have a look on this. Input output for start and stop we have a start and stop box, that is oval. We have written start here and end here. Okay, now To add two numbers, we should have two numbers. So we have to take two numbers from the user, means we have to take input from the user. So for input we have parallelogram. So here we have written input in parallelogram. Input A and B. Now we have to process it. We have to add A and B. So we have rectangle box, rectangle, or we can say process box. Okay, processing is done in rectangle. And now next we have to show the result to the user. So for that we have parallelogram or input output box. So and at the end we have stop box. Okay, and all the arrowheads to show the flow of flow chart. Okay, in this way you can draw your flow chart using rules, following all the rules and using the symbols. All the best. Okay students, that's all. After this class I'm going to open the window. You can ask your queries related to these two chapters that are from unit test 2 syllabus, and also I'm going to share the MCQ based worksheet on these two chapters. Read it thoroughly. If you have any query from that worksheet, you can also ask when window will open. And all the best. Study hard to score more. Have a nice day. Take care.